एदं कृपाय कस्मै व्याचचक्षे मुमुक्षवे
यैदं कृपया कस्मै व्याचचक्षे मुमुक्षवे
योगीन्द्राय नमस्तस्मै शुकाय ब्रह्मरूपिणे
योगीन्द्राय नमस्तस्मै शुकाय ब्रह्मरूपिणे
संसारसर्पदष्टं यो विष्णुरातं मुमुचत्
संसारसर्पदष्टं यो विष्णुरातं
भवे भवे यदा भक्तिः पादयोस्तव जायते
भवे भवे यदा भक्तिर्पादयोस्तव जायते
तदा कुरुष्व देवेश नातस्त्वं नो यत प्रभो
तथा कुरुष्व देवेश नातस्त्वं नो यतः प्रभो
नाम-सङ्कीर्तनं यस्य सर्व-पाप-प्रणाशनम्
नाम-सङ्कीर्तनं यस्य सर्व-पाप-प्रणाशनम्
प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम्
प्रणामो दुःखशमनस्तं नमामि हरिं परम्
हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे
हरे
हरे
कृष्ण
कृष्ण कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे
हरे राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे
हरे
राम
राम राम हरे हरे.
Okay, good.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Very good.
I'm sorry.
Good job.
Sorry, Prabhuji. I have so many mistakes.
No problem. Yeah. So it's a privilege. It's a privilege and blessing to read or to recite the names of the Lord. In Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Devahuti, Mother Devahuti, she says that there is an instance where a dog eater, a Chandala, he recites names of the Lord. And looking at that, Devahuti says that how blessed is this Devahuti, how blessed is this Chandala. He must have a lot of punya sukruti from previous lifetimes. That's why he's able to recite the names of the Lord. So we should not consider this opportunity as a casual thing. The opportunity to recite the names of the Lord, we should not consider it as a casual thing. It's a privilege, it's a blessing. Okay, just imagine you are invited to the White House and asked to speak for 5 minutes about Trump or someone else. You will definitely feel privileged. Now, what we are doing, sitting at our home, simply reciting the names of the Lord, is a greater privilege than any other opportunity. Okay? So, actually what you can do is, whenever you go to any temple, okay, Balaji temple or Samamish temple, any temple, you go to either here or in India, after taking darshan, you sit down for 5-10 minutes, open your phone and recite all these shlokas. It is like offering prayers to the Lord. If you are good at singing something else, some other kirtan or something else, you can sing that. Otherwise, the best that you can do is, in a simplest manner, the best thing that you can do is simply recite these 50 prayers. Because we have been reciting since last 2 weeks. I'm sure everyone became very comfortable with this. And after a few days of practice at home by yourself, you can recite very well. And whenever you go to the temple, just recite all these shlokas. If not all these shlokas, some selective verses from these shlokas, whatever your favorites are, you can recite. And you can try to memorize. And what you have to do is you have to do a deliberate contemplation on these words and try to understand the meaning of these words. Okay. For example, there is this shloka, right? Nama pramana mūlāya kavaye shastrayo naye pravrittaya nivrittaya nigamaya namo namaha. What's the meaning of this word nigamaya?
Vedas.
Yeah, nigama is Vedas. When you say nigamaya,
Are we telling that you are?
Chaturthi Vibhakti, Prabhu.
yeah, Chaturthi Vibhakti. So what are we saying in Chaturthi Vibhakti?
I think it's about.
No, not
About yoga.
about. Not about.
From yoga. From Vedas.
No. See, all the names that we are reciting in this document, Kṛṣṇāya, Vāsudevāya, nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ, pradyumnāya, aniruddhāya, govindāya, pradīpāya, gunapradīpāya, anantāya,
Pravrityaya nivrittaya.
huh?
Pravrityaya nivrityaya.
pravrittāya, nivrittāya, So all the names, they are ending with ya. Like that, nigamaya, it is also ending with ya. These are all Chaturthi Vibhakti. But what does it mean? When you use any name in a Chaturthi Vibhakti form, what does it mean? That means onto you. When you say Govindaya, what are we saying? Onto you. Govindaya namo namaha. That means my pranam to you, Govinda. Vasudevaya, namo Vasudevaya. O Vasudeva, my pranams to you. Nama Pankajanabhaya. O Pankajanabha, O Padmanabha, my pranams to you. So like this here, Nama Nigamaya or Namo Nigamaya. You can say Namo Nigamaya. Nama Nigamaya Namo Namaha. So Nigama is Vedas. Nigamaya means onto Vedas? No, that doesn't sound right. Because these are all the names of the Lord. So when we say Nigamaya, then we are referring to those Vedas, or we are referring to that Supreme Lord Kṛṣṇa, who is a personification of the Vedas. If it is just a book of Vedas, we can call it as Nigama. Nigama Nigamanta Varnita Manohara Rupa. We all know that song from Annamacharya Kirtans. So there it is mentioned that the Lord's Manohara Rupam, the Sundara Rupam of the Lord, is mentioned in the Nigamas, in the Vedas, and also Nigamantas. In the conclusion of the Vedas also, the Lord's beautiful form is described. So that is when you say Nigama standalone, if you use the word Nigama standalone, then it refers to Vedas. But if you say here Namo Nigamaya, O Kṛṣṇa, pranams unto you, who is a personification of the Vedas. That's how we have to understand it. Namo Nigamaya. Pravrittaya Nivrittaya. What does that mean? Pravrittaya Nivrittaya. That means Kṛṣṇa is the goal of our pravritti and Kṛṣṇa is the goal of our nivritti. Pravritti means the material occupational duties. Nivritti means no occupational duty but only spiritual duty. So pravrittaya nivrittaya. O Kṛṣṇa, pranams to you, who is the goal of the pravritti and nivritti. That's how we have to read it. So actually at home, whenever you get some time, this is how you can read. For example, here, Nama Purusha, if you look at this shloka, right? Nama Samaya Shuddhaya Purushaya Paraya Cha Vasudevaya Sattvaya Tubhyam Bhagavate Namaha. So try reading like this. Nama Samaya, Nama Shuddhaya, Nama Purushaya, Namo Paraya, Namo Vasudevaya, Namo Sattvaya, Nama Tubhyam Bhagavate. Like that. Make some sentences. Now Nama is used only once here, and all the names are repeated. But we have to offer pranams to each and every name of the Lord. So at home, when we can practice like this. So this is deliberate contemplation or investing time, investing your tongue and mind, in recitation of the names of the Lord. So just become creative and recite with all your heart attached to it. Okay, so what we're going to today is, we're going to discuss the last shloka in this document, which is the last shloka in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Okay, so this is the last shloka. From Canto 12, Chapter 13, Shloka number 23. This is the last shloka. Nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ yasya sarva-pāpa praṇāśanam praṇāmo duḥkha-śamanas tan-nāmami hariṁ param. So we will discuss the meaning of this shloka and we'll understand some significance of it. And then from tomorrow onwards, we are not going to recite these prayers. Because these 50 prayers, now everybody became very comfortable. You all became experts in this, the pronunciation and the recitation. The meaning, we only discussed few shlokas, but you get the idea. All these different shlokas, they are calling out to different names of the Lord, primary names and secondary names, mukhya nama and gauna nama. Mukhya nama are the primary names that are related to spiritual world, and gauna nama are secondary names, are those names that are related to material world. When we say Jagat Pate, that is a name related to material world. When we say Devaki Nandana, that's a mukhya nama, principal name, primary name. That name is related to spiritual world. So we are offering pranam to different names of the Lord. This is similar to Vishnu Sahasranama. Just similar to Vishnu Sahasranama. So from tomorrow, what we are going to do is, tomorrow is Rukmini Dwadashi. We can try to recite, prayers of Queen Rukmini, the love letter to Kṛṣṇa, and then Narasimha Chaturdashi is on 11th, which is Sunday or Saturday maybe. Yeah, Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday, Prabhu.
Saturday, kada? Yeah, Saturday 11th. Wow, that day Mother's Day also. Okay, so ideally we should start reciting Prahlada prayers one day, at least one day before Narasimha Chaturdashi, and our opportunity, the last opportunity, will be Friday, day after tomorrow, 9th. And Friday there is some celebration in Bellevue Temple. I don't know how many people will be coming here, how many people will be going there.
Narasimha-Prana-Pratishtha.
Yeah, Narasimha Prana-Pratishtha. So
I think we have Radhesham Prabhu's class also, Prabhu.
Oh, Friday, right?
Yeah.
Oh, correct. Yeah. So Friday is not possible. Then Thursday, tomorrow is the only opportunity. Okay, let's do this. Tomorrow we will recite Rukmini prayers, and then from Monday onwards we can recite Prahlad prayers. Prahlad prayers are about 25 shlokas. We will spend at least 2 to 3 weeks reciting those shlokas every day and then understanding the meaning, all those things. Okay? Okay, now let's come to today's topic. So this is the last shloka of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ yasya sarva-pāpa praṇāśanam.
nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ
Yasya sarva-pāpa praṇāśanam.
praṇāmo duḥkha-śamanas tan-nāma-mi hariṁ param.
praṇāmo
duḥkha-śamanas
tan-nāma-rūpa-caritādi-sukīrtanānu
hariṁ param.
Okay. nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ, the congregational chanting of the holy name. Yasya, of whom. Sarva-pāpa, all sins. praṇāśanam, which destroys. praṇāma, the bowing down. Dukkha, misery. Shamanaha, which subdues. Tam, to him. Namāmi, I offer my obeisances. Hariṁ, to Lord Hari. Param, the Supreme. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Hari, the congregational chanting of whose holy names destroys all sinful reactions, and the offering of obeisances unto whom relieves all material suffering. So this shloka is glorifying Nama and Praṇāma. Nama is chanting of the holy name, especially in a Sankirtana format. So there are three things. There is japa. When it comes to chanting of the holy name, there are three things. Three different methods in which you can chant the holy name. One is japa, which is the individual chanting. You sit by yourself, take the japamala, and then try to recite within your mind, or try to recite the mantra very softly, so that only you can hear. So that is japa. And then there is kirtana. Kirtana is when there are few devotees coming together and singing some bhajans or some songs glorifying the Lord, or few devotees coming together and singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra itself. That is kirtana. But when there is a large gathering, okay, I think for kirtan it is 3 or 4 people, and any number beyond 4 is called sankirtan. Sankirtan means kirtan in the association of devotee sangha. That is sankirtan. Kirtan in the association of devotee sangha. That is sankirtana. So there is japa, kirtana and sankirtana. 3 different things. So this shloka here is Shukadeva Goswami is glorifying the holy name, chanting of the holy name, saying that chanting of the holy name removes all the distress. It removes all the papa, all the sinful reactions. So how it destroys? It is praṇāśanam, not just nāśanam. Nāśanam means destroying. Praṇāśanam means prasiddha rūpena nāśanam. Prasiddha rūpena nāśanam means destroying in a special way. Destroying in a special way. Now, if you just destroy the sinful reactions, then one may have a sinful tendency. One may have a tendency to do sinful activities. So the chanting of the holy name, it not only destroys the sinful reactions, but it also destroys the sinful tendencies. So that is praṇāśanam, prasiddha rūpena nāśanam. Okay. nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ yasya sarva-pāpa praṇāśanam praṇāmo duḥkha-śamanas tam namāmi hariṁ param. Praṇāma. The obeisances that are offered to Sri Kṛṣṇa will subdue all the miseries, will remove all the miseries in our life. So there is papa and then there is misery. Misery is what we are going through in this lifetime. And papa is an accumulation of sins from so many lifetimes in the past. So simply by offering pranam, it removes the miseries from this life. And chanting of the holy name, it destroys all the sinful reactions. So now, if you look at Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a link. There is a continuation. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam begins where Bhagavad Gita ended. And Chaitanya Charitamrita begins where Bhagavatam ends. So how does Bhagavad Gita end? What's the last shloka or last instruction of Kṛṣṇa in Bhagavad Gita?
Yatra Yogīsvara Kṛṣṇa Yatra Partha Tatra Partha Dhanvatara.
No, that is Sanjaya's glorification of Bhagavad Gita. That is spoken by Sanjaya. What is the last shloka or last instruction of Kṛṣṇa in Bhagavad Gita? Charama shloka, the concluding instruction or concluding shloka of Bhagavad Gita.
Ananyas Chintayanto Mam Yajana.
No, that is in 9th chapter.
Manmana Bhavati. No.
Yeah, that is one. That is one of the Charama shlokas. There is another one. Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayisyami masuchaha. So manmana bhava madbhakta also. We can say that also as the one of the concluding instructions. Manmana bhava madbhakta madhyaji mam namaskuru mamevaishvasi yuktvaivam atmanam pratiyosime. Okay, let me show those two shlokas. (18.65). Okay. So 18.65, chapter 18, shloka number 65. There are 78 shlokas in this chapter. So 65, this is almost towards the end. Manmana bhava madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaishvasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. Kṛṣṇa says, okay, Prem Chandrika, you want to read or Srividya, you want to read the translation?
Yes, Prabhuji. Always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fate. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend.
Yeah. So the simple instruction here is always think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer your homage means pranam. Offer your namaskara to me. Mam namaskuru. Kṛṣṇa is saying mam namaskuru. Offer your namaskara to me. So the most important instruction is always think of me. Okay. Now just remember this. We'll look at the other shloka also, sarva-dharman parityajya, and then we'll discuss. The very next shloka actually, 65 and 66. So the concluding two instructions. Sarva-dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva-pāpebhyo mokṣayishyāmi mā sucaha. Okay, so Prem Chandrika, you want to read this translation?
Sure, Prabhu. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
Do not fear. Yeah. So these two instructions are similar. Krishna is in the previous shloka, 18.65, Manmana Bhavam Bhakta. Krishna said, always fix your mind upon me, always think about me. And here, just surrender unto me. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Now, this is where Krishna ended Bhagavad Gita. Now, how does Bhagavatam begin? Bhagavatam begins, if you look at Canto 1, or any canto for that matter in Bhagavatam, it's all about how devotees surrender to Krishna. In the first canto, who and all surrendered to Krishna? Who and all offered prayers to Krishna, and who and all surrendered to Krishna? First, Arjuna. Arjuna offered prayers. He surrendered. When Ashwatthama released, Brahmastra towards Arjuna, Arjuna offered prayers in a mood of surrender. And then Uttara offered prayers when Ashwatthama released another Brahmastra towards Uttara to kill Parikshit in the womb. Then Uttara surrendered. Then Kunti Maharani surrendered. Then Bhishma Dev surrendered. Brahma's prayers are there. Brahma shows his surrender to Krishna. When Krishna appointed Brahma as the creator of the material world, so Brahma surrendered to Krishna and invoked blessings before starting to create the creation. He surrendered to Krishna. So like that, throughout Bhagavad Gita, there are so many stories of different devotees, how they surrendered to Krishna. And that was the last instruction of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. So Bhagavatam begins with surrender and flows with several stories of devotees who surrendered to Krishna, and it continues all the way to the end. And so now, is this connection clear to everybody? Connection between Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam. It's clear, right? Okay. Now let's see how is the link between Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Charitamrita begins where Bhagavatam ended. So where is Bhagavatam ending?
Tell it, Prabhuji.
Telida.
Yeah, తెలీదు.
ఇప్పుడు చదివాం శ్లోక.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That means you are not paying attention. When you turn on your videos and pay attention these 20-30 minutes, then something will go into the brain. Yeah, when you turn on the video, you will automatically be attentive. Otherwise, when the video is turned off, you will do so many things while
I'll be
listening.
sleeping.
Yeah. So, thank you, Shrikant, for turning on the video. Yeah. Yeah. So, how did Bhagavatam ended? Bhagavatam ended with Shukadeva Goswami's glorification of nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ, chanting of the holy name. But how to perform this nāma-saṅkīrtana? How to chant the holy name? We do not know that, right? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, and that is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, right from the very beginning, it is described how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu distributed the holy name, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed this process of chanting the holy name. So that's the connection between Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Chaitanya Charitamrita begins where Bhagavatam ended. So in Shikshashtakam, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ nija sarva-shaktis tatrārpita niyamita smaraneന kālaṁ etādriṣī tava krupā bhagavan namāmi duḥkha-śamanas janānugāmī. So what does that shloka say? It says, O Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living entities. Okay, let me open this shloka and share. So this is in Shikshashtakam. There are only 8 shlokas spoken by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about holy name. Importance of chanting holy name, glories of holy name, all of that. So this is the shloka. nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ nija sarva-shaktis tatrārpita niyamita smaraneന kālaṁ etādriṣī tava krupā bhagavan namāmi duḥkha-śamanas janānugāmī. So what's the meaning of this? So Shrikant, can you read this?
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Kṛṣṇa and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. Invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
Yeah. So many times in the temple, so Shikshashtakam prayers are recited every day in the morning after Mangalarti, after Tulsi Arti. We recite Shikshashtakam prayers, and then we recite the Sanskrit shlokas, and then we read these translations. Many times what happens is when all the devotees, they are reciting these shloka, these translations very fast, many times it turns out that they read this sentence like this. But I am so fortunate that I have no attraction for them. It happened to me many times, and I have noticed other devotees are also reading like this, which is true actually. That's the reality. We have no attraction for them, and we are not considering that as an unfortunate thing. Yeah, we are not considering that as unfortunate thing. In other words, we are considering that as a fortunate thing. So not being able to chant or not having attraction to the holy name, we are not considering that as unfortunate thing. Indirectly, we are saying we are fortunate. So, okay. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, O Lord, you have invested your transcendental energies in all these names. Kṛṣṇa, Govinda, Rama, Achyuta, Ananta, Padmanabha, Pundarikaksha, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, Vasudeva, Nigama, so many names. So Kṛṣṇa has invested his energy into these names. Now, what should we invest? Krishna has invested his energy in all these names.
We should invest like reciting the names.
Bhakti and devotion.
Remembering these names.
Should
Trying to
invest our
remember
time.
is-
We should invest our time, and that's very good. What else?
Our love
Try to-
and devotion.
Our love and devotion. Okay. What
Try
else?
to remember these names.
Try to remember these names. That's another good point. Okay. So time, love and devotion. Try to remember. Huh? So now we don't know how to. We don't know the process of chanting, right? We don't know how to chant these names, and are there any rules and regulations? What should we do while chanting? What should we do after chanting? All of these things. So Rupa Goswami says, who is the Acharya for our Bhakti Marg. In Gaudiya Vaishnava, the Bhakti Marg Acharya is Rupa Goswami. That's why we are all called Rupa Anugas. Rupa Anugas. That means we are all the followers of Rupa Goswami. So Rupa Goswami, in Nectar of Instruction, he defines the process of chanting.
बार-बार disconnect हो जा रहा है.
He defines the process of chanting, or the how-to part, or the technical details of the process of chanting. He says, Rupa Goswami says, tan-nāma-rūpa-caritādi-sukīrtanānu smṛtyoḥ krameṇa rasanā-manasī niyojya tiṣṭhan vraje tad-anurāgi-janānugāmī kālaṁ akhilam upadeśa-sāram. Rupa Goswami says, okay, let me open the shloka and then show you the translation and everything. This is Nectar of Instruction. This is the shloka, Nectar of Instruction, shloka number 8. tan-nāma-rūpa-caritādi-sukīrtanānu smṛtyoḥ krameṇa rasanā-manasī niyojya tiṣṭhan vraje tad-anurāgi-janānugāmī kālaṁ akhilam upadeśa-sāram. So what is he saying? Okay, Ankita, you want to read this translation here?
Yes, Guruji. The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes, thereby gradually engaging one's tongue and mind. In this way, one should reside in Vraja, Goloka Vṛndāvana-dhāma, and serve Kṛṣṇa under the guidance of devotees. One should follow in the footsteps of the Lord's beloved devotees who are deeply attracted to his devotional service.
Yeah. So this is the technical part, how to perform this process of chanting the holy name. So what is Rupa Goswami saying here? The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time. Okay. So that's what you said, Shrikant. We have to invest our time. 24 hours a day. So this process of chanting Lord's name should go constantly in our mind. And we can chant out loud also. When we are doing some work in the kitchen or when we are doing some work in the living room. So when you are vacuuming, you can chant loud these names. Traditionally, in the olden days, not very old, not too old, just go back about 50 years ago or 20-30 years ago, especially in Brahminical families, you would see constantly they would chant something or the other. They would sing holy name of the Lord or some kirtan, some bhajan, some stotram. Constantly.
We had a neighbor, Prabhuji, when I was in school.
Okay.
That I was very old. person, he always keeps telling Krishna, Krishna. I used to wonder why, while walking, sitting, anytime, apart from the time he's speaking or eating, he used to tell Krishna, Krishna.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, even now we can see, the elderly people, whenever they are sitting or getting up, they say, Krishna Vasudeva, uh, uh, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. So they say occasionally, but in the olden days, 20, 30 years back, this would go on continuously from morning till evening. This would go on. You would continuously, keep hearing this. But that unfortunately, that culture has been lost now. So Rupa Goswami is saying here, we should invest our time 24 hours a day in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes. So we should invest our time in what? We should invest our time in two things: chanting and remembering. So Ankita said, remembering, right? Remembering these names. Remembering the nāma-rūpa-guna-līla of the Lord. Tan-nāma-rūpa-guna. That's the shloka here. Tan-nāma-rūpa-caritādi-sukīrtanānu. So what are we chanting? We are chanting Krishna's name, Krishna's Rupam. We are doing Kirtanam of Krishna's Rupam. We are glorifying Krishna's Rupam. We are glorifying Krishna's Charita, his history, his Leelas. All these things we are glorifying. The word Kirtanam means to glorify. Kirtanam means to glorify. But here Rupa Goswami is using the word Sukirtanam. What's the meaning of the word Sukirtanam? Sukirtanam means Sushtu Kirtanam. The prefix Su indicates Sushtu. Sushtu Kirtanam. Sushtu Kirtanam means
Great job. Great job of Sankirtan.
No, not great Kirtanam. Sushtu Kirtanam means we have to we have to put our heart. Srividya, you mentioned love and devotion, right?
Yes.
When we chant with love and devotion, when we give our heart, when we put our heart while chanting these names, or when we are glorifying Krishna's Leelas, when we are glorifying Krishna's Rupam, we have to put our heart, love and devotion. That is Sushtu Kirtanam, Sukirtanam. In our temple, there is a Prabhuji. His name is Sukirti Krishna Prabhu. So when you are glorifying Krishna's form, beautiful form, Tribhanga Sundara Deha Vadana Murali Pitambara Vanamali Madana Mohana. So this shloka glorifies the beautiful Rupam of the Lord. So when you sing with the emotions, when you sing with your love and devotion, when you put your heart while you are glorifying the Rupam of the Lord, then that is Sushtu Kirtanam, Sukirtanam. Okay? And then let's come back to the translation. So we have to invest our time in chanting and remembering. So chanting, we know the word now. What is the word for chanting?
Kirtan.
No.
Japa.
Japa.
No.
Sukirtanam.
Huh?
Sukirtanam. Just now.
Sukirtanam.
Sukirtanam. Yes, that's the word. Yeah, we got some promotion. We are elevated now. So until yesterday, we have been using Kirtanam only. But from today onwards, we should promote ourselves. We should elevate ourselves and say Sukīrtanam. Let me do Sukīrtanam. Chanting in a nice way. See, Rupa Goswami is using the word nicely chanting. See, that shloka, to glorify Krishna's Rupam, you can chant in a different way. Tribhanga Sundara Deha Vadana Murali Pitambara Vanamali Vadana Mohana. You can just sing like that. But when you put your emotions, when you sing with melody, put your heart and sing with love and devotion, that is nicely chanting. Sushtu Kirtanam. Okay. So after Sushtu Kirtanam, what should we do? Where should we invest our time? We should invest our time in remembering those things.
Marnam.
We should remember Krishna's name. We should remember Krishna's form. We should remember Krishna's leelas, and so on. Nāma-rūpa-caritādi-sukīrtanānu. So what is the word for that in the shloka? Smrti. Smrti. And it is not just smrti. Just like how today we got promoted from kirtan to sukirtan, let's also promote ourselves with regards to smrti. It's not just smrti, it is anusmrti. Anusmrti. Anusmriti. So what is the difference between smriti and anusmriti? Smriti is to remember, smrana. You just remember the name, or you just remember the qualities or leela of the Lord once, just once. That is smrana, remembrance. Anusmriti means constantly remembering. Constantly remembering. That's what Rupa Goswami mentioned here, right? 24 hours a day. The essence of all advice is that one should utilize one's full time, 24 hours a day, in nicely chanting and remembering the Lord's divine name, transcendental form, qualities, and eternal pastimes. So in simple words, we should invest all our time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, in nicely chanting the Lord's name and remembering Lord's nāma-rūpa-guna-leela. Sukīrtanam and anusmriti. Anusmaranam. Sukīrtanam, anusmaranam. These are the two techniques. Anusmaranam has another meaning. One meaning of anusmarana is constant or repeated smarana, repeated remembering of the Lord. Another meaning of anusmarana is you remember and you describe. Let's say you are meeting with one of the friends. Suddenly you try to recollect, you try to remember one of the pastimes or leela of the Lord. And then you describe that to your friend. You share with your friend. That is also anusmarana. The process of remembering and describing. That is second, meaning of anusmarana. There is another, another meaning, third meaning of anusmarana, which is following the footsteps of the acharyas and remember the Lord in that way. Remember the Lord the way the acharyas did. Just like how the acharyas remembered nāma-rūpa-guna-leela of the Lord, we read and then we follow the acharya's footsteps. That is anusmarana. There is anugamana, anukirtana, anuvarnana, anusmarana. Anugamana means following. Simply following the footsteps. Following the instructions of somebody is called anugamana. And anukirtana,
Constantly chanting.
Constantly chanting. Varnana.
Constantly describing.
Constantly describing Lord's qualities and pastimes. Kṛṣṇa Katha-anu-varnanam. Kṛṣṇa Katha Anu-varnanam. There is one more shloka in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam where Kṛṣṇa himself mentioned this. Kṛṣṇa Katha-anu-varnanam. Kṛṣṇa Katha is the stories of Kṛṣṇa, the leelas of Kṛṣṇa. Anu-varnanam means constantly describing Kṛṣṇa Katha. Kṛṣṇa Katha-anu-varnanam. And Anusmarana. Anusmarana means constantly remembering nāma-rūpa-guna leela of the Lord.
Anurakti, Prabhu. Anurakti.
Anurati, yes, Anurati. Attraction.
Anurakti.
Anurakti.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anurakti.
Anuradha also. Anurada.
You're saying Anuraga or Anuradha?
Anuradha.
Radha,
Does it
the
mean
name Radha, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, Anuradha. Yeah. Radha, the name Radha actually comes from the root word Raga. Raga means attraction. So there is Anuraga. Anuraga means like constant attraction. Constant attraction. We say, right, the parent has anuraga for the children. That means the parent has attraction, love and attraction, love and affection, constant attraction for the children. So just like how we are constantly attracted to material objects in the material world, we should be constantly attracted to Lord's nāma-rūpa-guna leela. And it's an art. We can read so many things. We can read so many scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, everything. But this process of remembering Lord is an art. And one simple technique that I can share is, let's see, if somebody has any ideas, what is the best way to, practice this act of remembering the Lord? Any points?
Whatever you see, or whatever you can think about, like that is like God's creation.
Okay, that's one good way. Yes, very good. Yeah.
Reciting the shlokas.
Reciting the shlokas, Amita.
Over and over again, keeping on reciting them.
Yeah. We have three different people with almost similar names: Anita, Amita, Ankita. Nice. Yeah. Kṛṣṇa tells in Bhagavad Gita, Aksharanam akarosmi. Of all the syllables, I am the syllable A. So there are three people starting with A. Amita, Amita, Ankita.
Akshara is
And Akshara, Srividya's daughter, Prem Chandrika's daughter, Akshara. Wow. So Shrikant, myself, we are the odd men out. Everybody else have Akara in their home. Yeah. You are saying something, Amita?
Yeah, I said, reciting the verses over and over again till we remember them.
Yeah, that's another way. Very good.
Is that what is Krishna consciousness? Always do things what you're doing in consciousness of remembering Krishna, and then doing it, remembering that what is our position, and serving in mindful time.
No, that is my question. How to practice remembrance of Krishna?
Oh, you mean to say how to practice Krishna consciousness?
Krishna consciousness is a wide range spectrum that has so many things in it. But one limb in Krishna consciousness is smrana, remembrance of the Lord. So my question is, how to practice this smrana of the Lord? remembrance of the Lord. How to practice this?
By in mind, we can have a loving conversation, and every now and then we can submit.
Okay, that's also good.
I think
So
by having habit of doing it every day, it will automatically come into our habit, and then it will become
yeah,
practice, and then it will become
very
a
good.
common.
Very good. Yeah, you're almost close. So the technique that I was going to share is, every day, if we sit for 5 minutes and then try to recollect some leela of the Lord. Okay, we know so many stories, so many leelas of the Lord. It can be Kṛṣṇa leela, Rama leela, Chaitanya leela, Narsimha leela, any leela. So we should sit down for 5 minutes and try to recollect some leela of the Lord. So if we practice this, only 5 minutes every day, then it develops a habit of remembering the Lord. We have to do this every day, daily. So today you start with 5 minutes a day, and then after 1 month you increase that to 10 minutes and slowly increase the time. Now what happens when you start doing this way is, okay, let's say we know 10 stories of the Lord, small stories, right? 5 minutes we cannot remember entire Kunti prayers, the entire episode of Kunti Maharani prayers we cannot remember in 5 minutes. Or the entire Damodara Leela, 5 minutes is not sufficient. So small stories, like how, for example, how Krishna's friends, and including Balarama, how they used to tease Kṛṣṇa. So Balaram used to say that, Kṛṣṇa, I am born with a fair complexion, blue complexion. Mother Yashoda is of fair complexion. Nanda Maharaj is of fair complexion. Everybody in the family are fair complexion. How come you, Kṛṣṇa, you alone are in dark complexion? How is it possible? You know one secret? You're actually not the son of Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. One day, they were in the marketplace and they just found you. You're actually not their son. And Kṛṣṇa started giving some philosophy, saying that, no, even though they are of fair complexion, I can be born with dark complexion. Balaram says, no, it doesn't work like that. When one of the parents are of fair complexion, the children will naturally be of fair complexion. Now you can look at your families, this is true. So Balaram says, no, it doesn't work like that. So you don't believe, whether you believe it or not, you're not their son. And then all the Gopavais, Madhubangala and Subala, they also started putting ghee in the fire. And then hearing all this, Kṛṣṇa really got very, very upset, and he started crying. So we can relish Kṛṣṇa's innocence in that. Kṛṣṇa is Devadi Deva. He is the Supreme Father of all of us. And he is crying for such a small thing said by Balarama. So when we sit down and then just remember that, or if you don't want to just remember in your mind, you can share it with somebody. You can pick up the phone and call somebody and share for 5 minutes. So this deliberate investment of time in chanting and remembering nāma-rūpa-guna-leela of the Lord, That is what we should do. And what else should we invest in chanting and remembering? We should invest our tongue in chanting. We should invest our mind in remembering. So we should invest our time, tongue, and mind. We should invest all our senses in performing bhakti. But most importantly here, tongue for chanting and mind for remembrance. So sukīrtanāṁ and anusmaranam. These are the two processes. Constant kirtanam and constant remembrance. Krameṇa. So krameṇa, this is another important thing here. Rupa Goswami, see, he's such an expert. He is giving this process of chanting and what to do after chanting in a very systematic manner. Krameṇa, the usage of the word krameṇa indicates that sequentially.
Gradually.
No, not gradually. Sequentially. Sequentially means first kirtanam, then smaranam.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the order. This is the sequence. First kirtanam, then smaranam. First we have to glorify the Lord, and while glorifying we'll hear. That will go into our mind. And then only smarana is possible.
And Navavidha Bhakti also, it is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam.
Yes, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. Yeah. That is the krameṇa. That is the, krama or the sequence. So this shloka is very beautiful. Tan-nāma-rūpa-caritādi-sukīrtanānu smṛtyoḥ krameṇa rasanā-manasī niyojya tiṣṭhan vraje tad-anurāgi-janānugāmī kālaṁ akhilam upadeśa-sāram. There are more things that Rupa Goswami is saying here. How should one chant, or where should one chant? Tiṣṭhan vraje. Tiṣṭhan vraje means by being situated in Vraja, in Vṛndāvana. Now we can chant while sitting here in Seattle also. But if you go to Vṛndāvan and chant, the benefit is multifold. The Shastra describe the benefit of chanting at home, the benefit of chanting in the temple, benefit of chanting in a goshala, benefit of chanting at the bank of a river, benefit of chanting in a holy place like Vrindavan, Ayodhya, Mayapur, Mathura, and so on. So whenever possible, you go to Vrindavan and chant there. And tad-anurāgi-janānugāmī. That means you should associate with those people who have anuraga for chanting the holy name. This way, kālaṁ nayed akhilam. Akhilam means all of your time. Kālaṁ means time. Akhilam means all of your time. Nayed means invest. What should we invest? Rasana, which is tongue, manasī, mind. Rasana, not rasna. Rasana. Rasana and manasī. So this is a beautiful shloka. Many times we know that, I know the process of chanting, but here Rupa Goswami explains in a systematic way, which is very important to know. Okay, so with this, before we wrap up, anyone has any comment, question, reflection?
Prabhu, మీరు చెప్పారు కదా, like Bhagavad Gita ends with like surrender, and then Bhagavatam starts with surrender and ends with nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ, and again Chaitanya Charitamrita starts with nāma-saṅkīrtanaṁ. I like that, Prabhu.
Yeah. That way, all these three books, Bhagavad Gita, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is a natural continuation. We don't have to treat them like separate books. It's a natural, continuation.
Not the dance, the dance.
Like part 1, part 2, part 3.
Yeah. So they say that Bhagavad Gita is a graduation study, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is post-graduation study, and Chaitanya Charitamrita is PhD level study. So it's a gradual. This is the krama, the sequence.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So tomorrow don't miss. We're going to discuss about the first ever love letter from Rukmini to Sri Kṛṣṇa.
Yes, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you everyone for
Hare
joining.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
For sharing the knowledge.
Krishna, Prabhu.
Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Jai.